How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mike. Today we're going to talk about digital marketing. So I've gotten a lot of questions since my most popular video dropped of how I made all of my money back in my 20s. And I mentioned in that video that really it boiled down to digital marketing. I started off as a web developer, coder, and then I really got into marketing content online. And all of that is forms of digital marketing. And so what most of you who have emailed me or sent me a message on Instagram have asked is, hey, how do I get to do the same thing? Do you have a course? I don't have a course. I'm sorry. I honestly don't have time yet. But while you're waiting on the course, I'm still going to keep making these videos. And my hope is that the free information that I give in these videos can add some value to you or whatever it is that you're doing. And actually, whatever I talk about in these videos on the channel are going to be the same thing that will be on a course. So consider this free information and one that you can actually use to go build something or make some money. So yeah, let's break down what digital marketing is. And guys, everything that I talk about in this video and other future videos are simply my opinions, and they're very, very much based on my own experience. So I'm telling you exactly what I did and what I know. All right, so take it with a grain of salt. What is digital marketing? It's a form of advertisement on digital mediums, aka Facebook, YouTube, Google. Those are the three big players when you think of any digital platforms, right? But here's the thing, you have so many other different options today where you can market yourself or market whatever product that you're selling, and hopefully you make some bank. But let me tell you what I did to be able to get here. When you think of digital marketing, think of two main different categories of marketing, right? We've established that digital marketing is internet, online, and digital platform, aka social media is the way to go today. But think of two different categories. You've got organic and you've got paid. So those are the two types of digital marketing I really want to talk about in this video. So depending on your goals or depending on what you're trying to sell, one may fit and the other may not. And also it depends on your own personality, how much time you have, what deadlines you have, and how soon you're trying to accomplish those goals. So when you think of organic, something I've mentioned before on this channel, search engine optimization. That's one form of marketing where you can get organic traffic. And organic simply means you're getting the traffic for free. It means that you either have a content that's popular or a content that's ranking high on search, and that one content continues to bring you free traffic. That's what organic is. So one of the great benefits of organic traffic is the fact that it's free. Once you have one content, all it takes is one good content that you have, maybe a landing page, and that content is ranking on Google search. It gives you also good quality of visitors. What that means is you basically get people who are genuinely looking for exactly what it is that you have on that page or what you're ranking for. So say for example, for me, I have an aircraft dealership, and if somebody were to search for, I want to buy an airplane or something like that, I want to rank for that, right? So if I had a page, and I'm working on ranking for that, if I had a page right now that gives all the information that you need to be able to purchase an aircraft, and that page was say number 1, number 2, or number 3 when somebody Google or searches for those type of keywords, that page will bring me good quality visitors of people who are genuinely looking for exactly what I have. And so that's the great thing about organic traffic. But there is a downside to organic. One, you can get lucky, okay? Two, there's an upkeep in terms of continuing to maintain certain things and also making sure your website or your landing page is always online. But ultimately, there's legwork in the beginning, which is optimizing that page, optimizing for good keywords, and doing all the good stuff that you need to do for that one page or several pages to rank on Google. And ultimately, all of that takes time. Time in the sense that you have to wait, except you're in a very niche market, a smaller market, or you want to rank for like a whole sentence compared to like 1 or 2 keywords. Chances are you have to give time in months in some cases, or even a year in some cases, for you to see the actual result of you ranking in, say, the top 10 of Google search. And I say Google search because it's really the main dominant search engine that we have. You can try to optimize for like a Yahoo or Bing, but the truth of the matter is Google is where everybody goes whenever they're searching for something, or maybe DuckDuckGo. But if you rank high on Google, chances are that you will also rank high on these other smaller search engines. So that's why I said focus on ranking high on Google. So that's organic in a nutshell. If you can get it right the first time, boom, you would get free traffic for years to come. But as I said, the biggest flaw with going organic route is one, you really don't have control as to what's going to happen. You have to be very patient. And again, Google who giveth can also taketh away from you. And I've been through that where one day I'm doing very well, my pages are ranking, and then a couple of months later, boom, the competition was stiff and I get deranked. So that can happen also. But ultimately, the biggest flaw with going the organic route is that you have little to any control to what happens with your content or to what happens with your sale. And you're also heavily dependent on whatever source that you're getting that traffic from. Now, the other form of digital marketing that I personally like better is paid. And I'll tell you why. So paid advertisement is simply self-explanatory. This is a form of advertising where you have a budget and you pay for your traffic. You're not getting it for free anymore. And I should say, free, the word free is I want you to take that with a grain of salt, because ultimately nothing is free. You're exchanging your time. So you're basically exchanging all the time you put into something, and then eventually you would get free traffic. But let's get back to paid advertising. When you consider this option, again, it really depends on what your goals are and what it is that you're trying to sell. The biggest or greatest benefit of going the paid route is control. You would have control over what happens with your campaign. All right, let me explain. So when you think of paid advertising, you think of Google AdWords. That's one of the biggest players in online advertisement. All these ads that you see, even watching YouTube videos, those are coming from the Google AdWords platform, right? Or double exchange, they call it. So you've got Google AdWords, and then you think of other big players like Facebook. You can create ads on Facebook, paid ads, and you can target those ads. That's also another benefit of using the paid advertising route, is that you get better options, more options to target your particular customer, your particular audience. That's another great benefit of using paid. But ultimately, you also have access to track what's performing well and what's not. And then you can create a working formula. So this is generally how paid advertisement actually works. You pick your platform, meaning you pick an ad platform. Again, AdWords could be Facebook, could be platforms like Taboola. You set up what's called a campaign, and then you test it first. So this is very key. You test the campaign first before you just jump in and go all out with your budget. What I do is called A/B testing, right? So A/B testing basically means that you would create a campaign, and then you would have different variable of advertisement. So you don't just create one ad. You basically shooting yourself in the foot if you only create one ad. What you want is you want to create a mixture of ads, and then you test it and see which ad is performing better. That's what you call A/B testing. So let's give a perfect example. Let's say I wanted to create an ad campaign for my aircraft dealership. The first step would be I would choose the ad platform that I like to use, and hopefully it would be one where my actual potential customers are on or browsing or using. Facebook, YouTube, Google search, whichever the case may be, right? So I would pick one, or better yet, I would pick all of them, right? And this is part of A/B testing. And then I would create a test campaign. Never just create a campaign and just be one and done. Create what's called a test campaign. And so this is what you do with a test campaign. First, you would write, say, 3 different titles. Think of catchy titles, or more importantly, think of your audience, the people that you're trying to reach, and think of the keywords or something that will be intriguing to get their attention. I would create 3 different titles, and then also have 3 different attractive images. So with that combination, I would have a total of 9 I lost my fingers. 9 ads, okay? So three would give you a total of 9 ads because you mix and match. And there are tools for this. So for example, platforms like Taboola is great. They have tools that once you just throw in the images and then titles, it would mix match all of it for you, and then you would end up with 9 total ads, okay? So what I would do is take this 9 ads, same titles, same images, right? I would start with one platform, say Facebook. I would take the same ads, go to say Yahoo. You can use Yahoo ads, Gemini, I think they call it, and you can create the same set of campaigns there. Boom. Same thing, go to AdWords, create the same set of campaigns, right? So you have 9 ads or 9 combinations that you're going to test, and several things you're testing for. One, you're going to test for which ad is performing well, and by performing well, you're basically going to track your performance through some analytic tool. Google Analytics is free to use. So one way is to track that, and you would test performance of the ads by bounce rate. Bounce rate is basically how long a visitor stays on your page or your website before they bounce off. Or the next level thing that you would test is actual leads. So let's say your goal, or as I mentioned, my goal is to collect leads, meaning I want people who are searching for aircraft or they're ready to buy an aircraft to find me. And so I can create a landing page where I give the right information, and then I have like a small contact box where they put their name, email, and or phone number. I can also track based on that. And what I would do is I would put what's called a tracker or code on the thank you page. So once somebody fills out my form, there would be a code on the thank you page or confirmation page that visitor will see after they fill out that form. And so every time a visitor hits that thank you page, I set up what's called a goal. Every time that hit goes off, my goal gets a checkpoint, right? I hope I'm not moving too fast, but this is what I mean by tracking. And if I create a course, I'm sure I can break it down even further, but I want to give just a brief analysis of how this works, right? So you track your goals, and you can track traffic performance as well. And if it's, say for example, all you're doing is just seeing how the quality of the visitors and bounce rate and how many pages they search when they're on your website, or how long they stay on your website. So for example, someone who stays 20 seconds compared to somebody who stays 4 minutes on your website. Person who stays for 4 minutes browsing your website is probably a better quality visitor than somebody who just comes in for 20 seconds and boom, they're gone. So these things you would track. And so you would track them per platform. You're tracking how Google AdWords ads are performing. You're tracking how Yahoo Gemini ads are performing. And then you're tracking how Taboola ads or Facebook ads are performing. And then you would test for, say, 3 days. I would say 3 days is a good amount of time, or you can test for an entire week and just put a small budget. So say, for example, your budget is $10 per day per ad campaign. Once you do that, now remember that this money that you're spending initially, it's just to learn. It's just to collect information. It's not for you to make a sale or anything. You just want to collect enough data and for you to learn what's performing well and what's not. And so at the end of 3 days testing, you collect all of your data. Again, you have your analytics that you're looking at, and then you compare. You look at one, which platform is sending the better quality traffic. Second, you look at which specific ad. Remember, you created 9 different ads. You would test which specific ad on each platform is bringing the better quality traffic or conversion. And then one more thing I like to test also is how much each good performing traffic or each good performing conversion is costing me. So if a lead is costing me, say, $10 on Facebook compared to only $4 on Yahoo, then chances are I'm going to go with the less expensive platform. These are all the things that you're going to test for and then collect data and then see which ad is performing the best on which platform. I know all of this seems like a lot of legwork in the beginning, but guess what? Once you are able to actually do this and execute perfectly, you come up with the right formula and it will feel like you just hit the lotto, because once you have a good working formula, all you do is take more of your budget and just push it towards what's working. And this is also what I mean by control. At this point, you're not waiting for search engine optimization to kick in or waiting to basically get gifted with free traffic, right? You have control as to what you're buying, and you know exactly how what you're buying is performing. Now, the best way to go about this is to do both. As you're doing or exercising or practicing paid ads, you're also optimizing those pages to rank. But again, you're not waiting to rank on search engines before you actually start getting results. So this, guys, in a nutshell, is what digital marketing is. Again, depending on your goals, you would pick one or the other, or in my advice, go with both. It's going to be a little bit more work, but they work hand in hand. But ultimately, paid ads will give you more control, more learning curve in my opinion, and also it helps you track better your traffic. And also with paid ads, you can basically test with multiple sources where you're not just getting traffic from one source, if that makes any sense. There are pros and cons to all of it, and depending on what you're selling, in my case, I was selling content basically. I wasn't selling anything in particular. Now I'm selling airplanes, right? But I'm also selling content, and it's free content. And you think of even what's happening on YouTube. Generally speaking, when you put out a video, this video right now, speaking of, please give this video a thumbs up if you're actually learning something, because guess what? It helps the YouTube algorithm pick it up and recommend it to other people. And that's one way I'm optimizing this video. See what I did there? Is I put a point of action for you, the audience, to do something for me, and that would help me rank better or be suggested better. And also in my title, in my description, I'm putting keywords that I want when people are searching for whatever it is I'm talking about on this video, I'm ranking higher. So this is one form of digital marketing. Although I'm really not selling anything here, I'm just giving you free information. But I've spewed a lot of stuff, but guys, that's ultimately what digital marketing is. In the future, I plan to make more videos. If you guys want to know more about it, we can break it down even further. And I can even talk about tools that I use, aka Google Analytics is the most accessible one, and I can make tutorials on how to use that. All right, hopefully you learned something. If you did, like I said, please give the video a thumbs up and leave your comments and questions below. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if this is your first time with the notification bell on, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.